And we are live. I don't know if you heard. I think that was my phone. I couldn't figure out what that noise was.
I didn't hear anything.
Oh, you did? All right. Sorry about that. And we are live with another edition of Let's Talk Broncos with your host, Kurt Valenti. I feel like we have a very happy Kurt Valenti this evening. You can't
Fir-
contain yourself.
First off, this is the first show ever,
Ever.
ever that we can say we're going to talk NFL playoffs with the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, this is true. This
Let's
is
go.
true.
First and foremost, I want to say this. Great to have you back. It's great that you're back home. It's great that you're a tough SOB, and I'm glad that everything is well. Bo and I missed you for a couple of nights last week, but glad everything is good. Back to work, and I feel bad for you for one sense. You have never experienced what you're going to see this Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. That's all I'm going to tell you.
I'm a mix of emotions. I'm a little frightened. I'm a little intrigued. I'm a little worried. I have never seen you which is a sad statement for the duration of our relationship, that I've never seen you with the
Yeah,
Broncos
yeah.
playoff. But which I think heightens my scaredness a little bit, because it's a lot of pent up years of but I've seen you during Knicks basketball, and
How's that?
it's scary. It's
Yeah.
scary. I was
Yeah.
worried for you. I wanted you to start to take Bayer aspirin for your heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I did. That was not a joke. That's not a joke.
Well, you're feeling well, Jen. Thank you. You're feeling great, correct?
Yes, I am. Thank you. Had
Okay, awesome.
a little unusual circumstance with the health that was unexpected, and but bounced back, and we're good to go.
All right, awesome. Glad to have you back. Glad everything is all right. I know Bo was happy when you came home, licking your face for about 10 minutes, but I'm ready to go tonight, Jen. I'm ready to go. We're going open agenda. We're going to talk. I am so fired up for 1 o'clock. Again, you have to remember, growing up as an Elway fan, this was just year in, year out, and understanding the game and understanding how it works. And there's a wild card game in the divisional round, and then an AFC championship and Super Bowls. And then it's like, it's gone. It's gone for 8 years, 9 years. And you know what? We're back. We are back. And we have so much to talk about. We have so much to, as a Bronco fan, to look forward to. Not just Sunday, right? I mean, listen, I'm all in on Sunday, but the future, the next couple of years. I mean, you couldn't be more happy. I'm going to say this. There's not many organizations you would rather be today than the Denver Broncos fan.
Yeah, agreed. Let me get a few. We got a few people checking in. I want to acknowledge them. We have Kenny saying, "Hi, Jen and Kurt. Welcome back, Jen. Thank you, Kenny. A lot to be happy about, especially you being home. Thank you so much." Michael checking in saying, "Good evening, Kurt and Jen. Go Bo Broncos. Broncos in the NFL playoffs sounds awesome.
Let's
and
go.
Let's
go
Go Broncos." Patrick checking in from
up,
Hawaii
Patrick?
saying, "Aloha, playoff, Kurt. Love it.
Let's go." And you know what? Patrick sent me a message, and I got to get back to him. He said, ready for refills. I know we were crazy last week, but yeah, I got a couple people in school. They're ready for refills, Patrick. So they love your coffee. So let's go, baby.
Thank you for the generosity as always with that. Yep. Wayne checking in saying, "Good evening, Jen and Kurt. Broncos playoff season starts. Let's go Broncos." And then Jody checking in saying, "Just remember, the 7 seed is lucky this year." Notre Dame and Denver's year for that 7 seed.
Both 7 seeds. Both 7 seeds.
Both 7 seeds. And we have Roy checking in. He said, "Hey there, new year and new thumb." He's saying he cut off part of his thumb. My goodness, Roy, I hope you are okay.
Yes,
right?
hope you
Sad
are
to hear
okay,
that.
Roy.
Hope you are on the mend for that. But
there's Patrick. Oh, look at that, Jen.
Oh, let me get back to it. I just Patrick. Oh, he's asking if you know what? I will always take coffee. I'm never going to turn down coffee. So absolutely. Yeah, it's delicious. We share it with company whenever they're here too. We had nothing but rave reviews about it. So I will always take coffee. Thank you so much. I can't thank you for your generosity enough, really. Kurt, I feel like there's so much to talk about. It's almost like, where do we start? So I kind of wanted to just ask you and your audience of Broncos fans, right, that just it's been a hiatus, right? It's been years. So what does it mean? I'm going to ask you two ways as a fan, but also for like the Denver Broncos organization to be back in the playoffs.
Jen, that was the late great owner, Pat Bowlen. That was his standard. His standard was Super Bowl or bust every year. He did everything financially he could to make the Broncos a Super Bowl championship contender every year. And unfortunately, and again, there's nothing you can do. I mean, unfortunately, when his health started to go down and he couldn't run the organization went down. So I know we're thinking a lot of Bo Nix and Sean Payton and Vance Joseph and, George Payton. But, I heard it tonight on Denver radio. You know who really deserves, Jen, where we're lucky as Bronco fans, is our new ownership, right? I mean, our new ownership, the Penner Waltons, and really Greg Penner, who's kind of like the one, quote unquote, in charge. And just, even last year, not in the playoffs. There's one more game. Hey, I'm going to throw 300,000 to make sure the field is, looking good and in good condition. And as an organization, Jen, it means everything because it's a proud, rich tradition, right? Again, growing up, I mean, how many Super Bowls did I see? I mean, I've seen what? 3, 5. I've seen 7 Super Bowls in 50 years. And I mean, you don't watch football when you're 1, 2, and 3, right? I mean, think about how lucky I am as a Bronco fan. There's people like there's Jet fans, they've never seen a Jet Super Bowl. There's like the Lions never seen a Super Bowl, right? Like you have teams that haven't been. I've seen 7. So when you ask what it means to the organization, it means everything, because they belong. They belong with the better franchises in the NFL. So, and you know what? This put them back on the map. And it's not, it's going to help, with players' free agency. Obviously, listen, you have every dollar you can possibly have with the money we have, but it means everything, Jen, to the organization.
Nice. And, Sean Payton, I believe, said in the locker room after the game, right, that this team is young and they're hungry, which is a dangerous combination, right? So it's almost like they just have no fear and nothing to lose, and that can be just, sometimes the mox and led by the quarterback with moxie, right?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's important to have a defense with moxie. I've always said that, an offensive line with moxie, but when you have a quarterback with moxie that just don't give an F and I don't care where we're going. Let's go. Like it's just a different animal. It is. I'm sorry. It is. You don't walk in there with these other names we've gone through the past 8 years and going to Buffalo. You think Bo Nix is going to be intimidated going into Buffalo? It's not going to. Listen, probably more intimidated going into Alabama playing for Auburn. It's just the kid has it. So I'm ready to go.
So we got Peter saying, that for the franchise, it means that you could attract free agents because they're viewed as a winning team, right? And Patrick making the point that the last playoff game was Von Miller, right? And this first playoff game after the drought will also have Von Miller, unfortunately, in the other team's jersey, right?
You know what, though, Jen, with Von Miller, I'm going to say this. And listen, it doesn't matter. Listen, you've seen it where it's fathers and son coaching, brothers coaching, like whatever it is. When it's between those white lines, it really doesn't matter who it is. But I know that I will always have, listen, Von Miller is all over this wall in the sports room. I will always have love and admiration for what he did. He maybe single-handedly or big time, that Super Bowl 50 run in 2015 brought us another Lombardi trophy. So he will always be a Bronco to me. I still have the jersey, Jen. I'll wear the jersey. I'll rock the jersey. I'll always be grateful for him.
Speaking of jerseys, right? I was actually going to save, I had a similar question. I was going to save this for later in the show, but Kenny did post it in the comments and we have somebody replying. So I kind of wanted to get it in there, especially if people are going to chime in because we know we love the audience interaction. Let me just read, don't answer yet, Kurt, because Kenny's saying, what are you going to wear on Sunday, right? And he's saying, are you going to go Bo Nix? You're going to go Elway? And I just want to say that every Sunday it's a decision, right? What you're going to wear, right?
Yeah.
So, and we had this discussion earlier today. I know which way you're going, but I want you to talk about what you wore last week too, right? And if people in the comments, because we have that Patrick is saying that he's going to wear an old school Manning, right?
Yeah.
Love it. And so why don't you say what you wore last week, even the week before, right? And then what you've decided, if you haven't changed your mind, want to share with us?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, I'm not 100% sold right now. I'm probably like 98, 98. But last 2 weeks ago, I wore my Pat Surtain when we were at Cincinnati because listen, I challenged the defense. Defense had to make a big stop. They had to go to Joe Burrow. Last week I wore the orange Bo Nix, and I know I can't go Von Miller this week. That's when I can't go, obviously. I know Roy's saying I'm going Elway.
I'll get to those comments.
Okay.
Just finish.
Listen, Elway, it's very, very what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for, Jen? Tempting to go with number 7. My blue number 7. Very tempting. I just think, by the way, I just found out, Jen, I'm not sure if you can't see it, but Patrick sent stars.
Yeah, I know. I was
Okay,
going to get to it, Kurt.
I didn't know if you saw it on the thing. Okay. But I'm going to go Bo Nix. You know what? This is the Bo Nix era now. Listen, that will always be my favorite Bronco, but this is the Bo Nix era now. So you know what? This is his time. He's done it. He's our leader now. So you know what? There's nobody else than number 10 I want to be wearing going into Buffalo for a playoff game on Sunday.
So, Patrick, thank you for the stars. We appreciate them. And so Patrick is going to be wearing his old school Manning, as we said. Roy saying it's nice to have a team that is young, right? But I think the key is to get some better seasoned pieces, experienced pieces, right? Patrick's also saying that Vaughn is in his top 5 all time. Roy is going to go Elway. You can't go wrong with Elway.
You can't.
Or Manning.
Nope, or Manning. Yep.
And then Peter is saying that he just got his new Bonito jersey on Monday, so he's going to be rocking it all weekend.
That's a nice one. That's a nice one.
I like that. I like that. And Michael saying he has a throwback Bonito jersey. All right.
That's a hot jersey, Jen, right now in Denver, Bonito. That's a hot jersey.
And Wayne is saying Elway was the only and last player jersey I've ever worn. I have my own personalized jersey. I was going to share a photo, but it won't. I wish we could see the photo. That would be great. Oh, I love it. Albert's checking in. Well, it's so funny because we usually end the show with like score predictions. And I'm so glad Albert dropped this in the comments because I was contemplating, like, let's just get right to it, right? Like, what do you think's going to happen on Sunday? Albert's giving his prediction. Can I share it?
Of course.
Let's do it. He says, you better believe that we will win on Saturday. And he's predicting by a score of 24-14. Okay. Sunday, he said. Sunday. Sorry. Yeah. And so go ahead, guys. I know it's early in the show. We usually save it for last. But go ahead, drop those comments, drop those scores in there. And let's see. Patrick's saying he's looking for a Surtain military appreciation
jersey.
Yeah. What did you just get? Salute to service. You got the
long sleeve hoodie, the t-shirt.
It's
beautiful. I love it.
So nice.
I wore it on Christmas Eve.
You did?
It's a great shirt. I like it. It's like that light gray. Obviously it's got a lot of meaning with the salute to service, and it's nice, so definitely be wearing that one again.
So, Kurt, what do you think of the Broncos' chances on Sunday?
I love them, Jen. I'm not just going to be here too and give you BS on the show, right? I mean, I love the matchup. Listen, is Josh Allen phenomenal? Yeah, but it's Josh Allen, right? I mean, I'm not going to listen. They won a lot of games. I'm not going to sit. They don't have anything else, but I mean, they have nothing that fears me, right? We are a top defense. We might be the top defense in football, right? We're going to come after Josh Allen. I'm going to tell you that right now. We are going in there, guns blazing, Bonito, Cooper. Let's go. Zach Allen. Let's go, baby. We got the best defensive back in Surtain to lock somebody up. Hey, our key, and we're getting to keys and stuff, Jen, but let's go after this SOB on Sunday, baby. Let's go get him. Let's go get him and see how good he is. Is it going to be hard? Extremely hard. That place is going to be nuts. People going through tables and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not going through a table. Not that I know. But let's go. Let's go.
Patrick is saying he's got to run. Patrick, thanks so much for checking in.
Thank you, Patrick. I will reach out to you. I will reach out for you for the best coffee. I appreciate it.
And then we have Trevor saying, hey, and great to see you both and hope you're feeling better, Jen. Thank you so much, Trevor. I definitely am. So thank you for your thoughts, Trevor. There.
Thank you. But yeah, listen, I am just so excited, Jen, that from where we are. I said this to you. Beginning of the season. I said, Jen, go put money on the Broncos winning 5.5 games. Did I tell you that? I said that's
easy. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I will tell you one later on at the end of the show, but I'm very confident in this game. I'm going to be honest. I mean, nervous, of course. Just like Wayne says, you're going into Buffalo. It's never easy. But matchup wise, listen, we got to stop him. We got to stop. We're not going to completely shut him down, but we have to get after his ass all game long. We have to shut the Josh Allen run game down, the scrambles. The most important part of this game is we get him in 3rd and 6. We can't do what we did 3 weeks ago with Herbert and then Burrow. We can't, all right, give up a quarterback scramble for 9. That can't happen. Those are 2 guys that don't even scramble, and we did it. We have to be, listen, 1 spy, 2 spies, 2 guys locked in on him. We have to make Josh Allen, I know this is going to sound crazy, Jen, because he's going to be the MVP, and he's a quarterback, right? But we have to make Josh Allen beat us from the pocket. Go ahead. If he does, tip your hat, Jen, and say, hey, you're a Super Bowl contender this year. We'll see you next year. But we can't have him running around. We can't have him scrambling around. That's the stuff we have to completely take away. First and foremost, make him do something he does not want to do. He does not want to sit back there and, okay, I'm just going to throw it 40 times he does not want to do that. He wants to run. So we have to take away his legs. That's number one.
All right. We got a few comments to catch up on here. We got Pearl checking in saying she was letting the dogs out. So we'll let the dogs out. Apparently it was Pearl. So welcome, Pearl. Pearl is also saying that where did her prediction go? Yeah, she thinks if VJ shows up, I love how she gets that in there, that the Broncos will win 24-20. Pearl, we started the show. I don't know if you're still watching with a little talk about what jersey you're maybe going to wear. So if you want to drop that comment, we'd love to hear what Bronco fan gear you'll be sporting on Sunday. Wayne is giving his prediction. He says, my heart says Broncos 24, Bills 23. I'd feel better if the game was in Denver, of course. Kenny's saying he thinks the Broncos match up well. Albert saying 5 sacks and a limping Allen at the end of the game. Not that he wants to wish injury, but he could see that happening. But like you're saying, Kurt, you got to go at him, right?
Got to go at him.
Yep. And then Kenny's making the point of, listen, if you take away Josh Allen, who do you have to stop, right? And he's saying it's Kincaid and Knox, the tight ends, he thinks. So let's get to that, Kurt. Can you expand upon that a little bit? Let's take, obviously, Josh Allen is, the standout, right? But who do you think the Broncos then have to worry about next?
You know what? First, to me, it's going to be Cook. I am worried about, again, Kenny makes a good point with the tight ends because our linebackers, that's just always been a weakness for us, right? The past couple of years, not being able to cover tight ends, but usually those linebackers are ones that have to cover the running backs out of the backfield too, right? But Cook is explosive. He might be one of the most explosive players on the, on the Buffalo offense, and not just as a running back, but as a receiver. So I think that's what we have to stop, right? I mean, again, I know this is cliche and saying it, but let Josh Allen throw it. Listen, Josh Allen probably has the best arm in football. So when I'm saying let him throw that, but you know what? We have to take our chances on that. You still have to block it. You still have to throw it, and you still have to catch it when it's like that, right? I don't want these little 2-yard things to Cook, and now, okay, it's Cook on our linebackers and it's 1-on-1. That's what I want. I want Josh Allen's legs take that out as much as we can and take away, James Cook in the pass game. Okay. Let them run the ball. You know what? Like, play poker with this team, right? We watched last year, Jen. You remember, because we were up in the sports room. I don't know if you remember this. We were watching in the sports room, Buffalo playing Kansas City in the divisional round. And we're sitting there, and Buffalo ran for something like 250 yards on Kansas City. Kansas City couldn't stop them. And then, like, on that last drive, it was like, go ahead, Josh Allen, throw it.
Yeah.
And it's like, throw it, and you lost the game. It's like poker. Like, they just can't do it. If Buffalo, like, you know what? Like Buffalo should just turn around, just like I said we were saying on K&K, like Baltimore. It's like these teams, it's like the craziest things. Like, and that's where it's from coaching, right? It really is. It's coming from the head coaching down the coordinator. Like, you're going to get in the NFL playoffs. Like, these teams, like Buffalo's used to scoring 40 points a game. Detroit's you're not going to do that every game now. It's like you look up and the score at halftime and it's like, hey, you're up 13-10, and it's going to be like, oh, we're playing bad. No, you're not. You're not. That's what playoff football is. Right. Like, that's playoff football now. And it's like, I'll never forget, like, why throwing the ball like in that game last year, Buffalo? What are you doing?
Well, but especially at that moment.
At that moment. You have the ball, right? You're worried about giving the ball back to Mahomes. That game either ends with you kicking the field goal, you scoring a touchdown to win the game, or it's over. That ball should never go back. Throw. After you're running like 8 yards a carry. Like, that's what let's get in. Like, that's what you got to do. Get into the poker with this team. Like, can you do it, Buffalo? Can you run it 45 times? Can you? And take the ball out of Josh Allen. It's like, oh my God, like Josh Allen only had 135 yards this week. But you see, would you rather think about it? Are you better off 135 with a win or 375 and a loss? See, that's the stupidity. But here's the difference. You got the offensive coordinator. Oh my God, I can't think of his name. Oh my God, he was the LSU, Joe Brady, right? You got Joe Brady interviewing for head coach. You know what? Hey, I got to put up 40 to get a head job. Go ahead, right? Go ahead. Don't dumb yourself into a loss. That's the kind of poker you got to play. You know what? Go ahead and run it. You're getting a pot. Go run it.
Let me get some comments in here, because I do kind of agree with what Peter's saying here, because, as much as, yes, it's NFL playoff football and defense is going to be, and we know defense wins championships, I just still do think that Buffalo is going to be able to put up points, right? And he makes a good point that, Denver's offense has to be
on.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And that's been, so let me segue from that into, you could say that, your offense was firing at all cylinders. Does it take away the fact that it was, against Kansas City's second string? Is it, or is it a confidence builder, or is it going to work? How do you see it working, last week's offensive performance? Because it's not going to come as easy.
Oh, no.
On the road, playoff atmosphere with a young, inexperienced team.
Right. Let's be real. It wasn't Kansas City's first team. But I'm also going to say, like, I have like some people saying, Denver backed in. You didn't back. Listen,
that I don't believe. Yeah,
we're a legit playoff team. We're a legit contender. We are, right? I mean, listen, tough shit to the Bengals. You know what, Bengals? You shouldn't lose to the garbage Patriots. That's on you.
It's a season. It's a body.
Right. It's a season.
Yeah.
Now, are you going to put up 38 points? And is it no? But the one thing I did like, and I heard this, and I said, you know what, like, because I was someone like, I just want to get into the playoffs. Like, if we happen to lose, let's root against Cincinnati. And somebody said going into on Sunday morning last week, they said, I'm glad that that's over. I'm glad that Cincinnati won, because you know what? Now it's on. There's no backing in. If you want to get in, win the game. That's on you. There's no more what this team does. It's on you. And you know what? I think that was big for the Broncos. I really do, because there was no more, let's hope this. There's no hope. You lose, you go home. You win, you get in.
Master of their destiny, and they got it done. And that's huge. No matter who. And you know what? I don't care that it wasn't first string
No,
the whole
of
way.
course, right, right.
It's still NFL football,
Right, of course,
Yeah.
right. Do you look
So
when the
give me a
Chiefs,
break.
like I said, like you're saying, the Raider guy fumbled the ball taking a knee. Does that what is it? That's football. That's sports. You're a playoff team. Here's the difference. There's no difference now. Nothing matters. Think about it. You could say Buffalo this and Josh. That means nothing now. Buffalo loses, they go home, just like we do. What's the difference? They're home, but that's your advantage now. It's just home. There's no more, okay, you have to win 3 out of 4. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's why football is, listen, the pressure is phenomenal. There's so much pressure on Lamar Jackson, so much pressure on Mahomes, so much pressure on Josh Allen, right? Think about it. Those two guys, Saturday, Sunday, Lamar and Josh Allen, have never won a thing. Never won a thing. They can't lose these games. There's so much pressure on them. But just like you said, though, Jen, like, you know what? Offensively, listen to me. Football is the one sport I really believe. I think basketball is kind of like that too, where it's kind of like you take steps, right? Where it's like you do your job, you get to the postseason. Okay, now as a rookie, you're going to go on the road. You're going to face that playoff, and you're going to learn from it. I do believe in that, right? We just cannot go and say, here, Patrick, here, Bo Nix, go be John Elway. Like, you can't expect that. Again, I'll always go back to people like to Brady. Brady's first Super Bowl run was very hand it off, throw it 10 times. That's because they're protecting. You got to protect the rookie, right? I mean, I know Bo Nix is a little different with the experience and the age, but this is still his first postseason game on the road in Buffalo, right? I mean, you can't expect him to be 40 for 41, throwing for 400 yards. That's so unrealistic. So, but do I think Bo Nix is going to fear going into Buffalo, Jen? No,
No, definitely
absolutely
not.
not. No
All right,
way.
Kurt, let me. I apologize to our comments. I haven't really been able to get
Yep.
them in here. So
Take your time.
let me try to summarize some of them. Oh, they're really coming in. There's a lot. So I'm gonna try my best here to get some in here. I'd asked Pearl what she was gonna wear. She did respond. She's got a Knicks t-shirt, very nice.
There
You were
we
talking
go.
about kind of who would be other than Josh Allen, who would you have to worry about? Michael, I believe you mentioned Cook. Kurt and Michael is agreeing that James Cook would be who he felt they needed to stop. Jody saying sack the football, not Allen. But Roy mentioning that the game's a lot faster in the playoffs. Trevor saying it's going to be a tough matchup. Buffalo's the number 2 seed for a reason, right? Best way to beat Josh Allen is to keep him off the field by continuing to move the ball. Absolutely. Time and possession, right? Michael also saying the X factor for the Broncos will be Marvin Mims, in his opinion. We got Mark checking in. Sorry, Mark, it took me so long to get there, saying what's going on. Albert saying that the last several weeks, the offense was great. Bo kept up with Joe Burrow. True. Again, that's another one where he showed no fear.
No.
Even after he threw the interception, this is what speaks volumes about him, is not his mistakes, but how he reacts to them. He came out the next possession, totally forgot about it, and got right back on track. And that is key.
Jen,
Yeah.
he's done it for everybody. He's gone toe to toe. He's done it when you've had to do it, right? Think about it. He went into, again, people, you don't look at it, and Kenny always says it. And Kenny's like, I give you that win in Kansas City, and I wish you have it, but we didn't get the win. But remember, down, let's go. Take the drive, 6-minute drive, go down, put him in field goal range. He did the same thing in Cincinnati. Like, he's staring these guys down that are, listen, superstar elite quarterbacks, the best of the best, just staring them down. I could play with you. I'll do it. I could, Jen. I'm gonna say this, and I think I said this to you off air this week. We have a very special quarterback in Denver. Okay, a very special, and you look back, and I'm going to be honest, like, I don't. He's better than anybody in this class. He's better than anybody in life. I don't know, like right now, who I mean, and I was high on Trevor Lawrence. I would take him over Trevor Lawrence. I don't know who the last quarterback I mean, Mahomes. It has to be Mahomes. Since Mahomes or Burrow, who came out first? Was it Mahomes or Burrow? Mahomes or Burrow. He's the best thing to come out. Jen, you look at it. Can he throw it from the pocket? Yes. Can he make every throw on the field? Yes. Is he accurate? Yes. Can he run and scramble? Yes. Can you have design runs with him? Yes. Can he make the, oh my God plays? How about the little flip to Javante last week, right?
Right. Yeah.
There it is again. When Mahomes does it, it's, oh my God. That's there it is. You wanted it. You got it. Right. He's so smart. He could read Jen, as Bronco fans, we have a special quarterback. Okay. And now it is our job, right? When I'm saying it is our job, it is this organization's job starting this offseason, because whatever comes now is gravy. Hey, I'm ready I want to win, but anything starting this offseason is to put the best team around him. And you ready for this, Jen? I'm going to say this for the first time on this show. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
And win Super Bowls. He's that good. He is that good. He has shown you. Go ahead.
Let me get back to something you just said. We made the playoffs this year, right? Exceeded expectations for sure.
And I'll tell you this, this is the worst team Bo Nix will ever play on. This will be the worst team roster-wise.
Okay. All right. And, you said the rest is gravy. So that is actually another one of my questions I have for you. And I'd love to get the audience feedback on this one as well. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but what if on Sunday, it is a slaughter, right? Let's say it's a disappointing loss for the Broncos. Does that put a damper on what has been, like, is there a scenario on Sunday that makes you second guess this good feeling you're having right now?
No, I'm going to answer that two ways.
And I want everybody else's opinion on that. You know what? Trevor's making a great point.
Yes,
regardless
that's a great point Trevor made. Put that one up.
So regardless, win or lose, it's going to help Bo Nix development by getting valuable playoff experience. Absolutely.
1,000. And then on the road, right? On the road in an environment like that.
Right. And it's not so much, the weather was mentioned before not being a factor, but the road game is the atmosphere too, going into that place.
But that's why it was so important. They said it would have been catastrophic if Denver lost that game on Sunday and didn't get in. Not just because they lost 3 in a row. It's just because they need this game. They need the postseason. Again, it's always a step and a step and a step, right? Like, and I truly believe that, right? Listen, you never know. The NFL is so close right now. I mean, let's be honest. Like, Josh Allen's Josh Allen, but can you really say the Bills roster is so much better than the Broncos? I don't know. I mean, I'd rather have the Broncos defense than the Bills. I'd rather have their weapon wise. I mean, they got a better running back and tight ends, but I don't know. I mean, I don't even think our receivers are great, but they don't have great receivers, So it's so close that do I expect them to win? Do I expect them to win a Super Bowl? No, they're not the favorite to win the Super Bowl. No, but I'm telling you this, like, I think this is Sunday, Jen, and I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back. And I said this to Kenny and I said this to you. You know what Sunday to me is, Jen? Sunday to me is the biggest step of showing who is going to be on this roster when we are ready to win a Super Bowl. And it comes from the coaching staff, meaning Vance Joseph. You said go out and get smoked, right? If I don't have a game plan for Josh Allen and he's running up and down the field, I don't want him as my defensive coordinator next year.
I just want to clarify for some of our comments. I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout.
Right. No, but what I'm saying is
like that if what the scenarios that could happen, like
right,
a blowout either way is
right. But here's my point.
Right.
Here's my point.
If that were to happen, is that disappointing for fans who are really riding so high now? That's really.
Let me ask you this question, okay? Are we going to see Josh Allen in the next 3 years?
Like in the playoffs, are you saying?
Yeah, we're gonna have to go through Josh Allen to get
Yeah,
to where
of
we want.
course.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if he doesn't have a game plan Sunday, what's going to give you confidence that he's going to have game plan? See, that's my point. Same thing with the running back, right? I know Jody, and we all love Jody, and he's all on Estime. But if Estime runs 12 times for 24 yards, he ain't going to wake up next year and be the number one running back. That's got to get fixed in the offseason. See, but now this is job interviews for this is going to, we're coming, right? We're coming. We will be a legit Super Bowl contender next year. But we have to find out Sunday, not versus Kansas City last week, not versus Sunday. We have to find out who's going to be legit. Like, Valenti can't have one catch for 4 yards and then say, well,
Right,
Valenti's the star next year.
This is a different setting. Who can get it done in the playoffs?
Who can get it done?
Right.
Right. Who can get it done? That's why and it's from all angles, right? Just like Riley Moss. And I know Kenny with Riley Moss. But I'm telling you, if Riley Moss is getting cooked on Sunday, he can't be my number 2 next year. Because I don't have time. He'll get a little better and a little bit. I don't have time. We don't have time. We have a window. We have a Super Bowl window. That's why this offseason is so important. If Estime, you want to be the damn number 1 running back, average 6 yards a carry in Buffalo, average 6 yards, go get me 2 touchdowns and let's go. Same thing with the receiving crew. Hold on 1 second, Jen. Same thing with the receiving crew. You want it to be Sutton 1, Mims 2, Valenti 3, then you all better step up on Sunday. I don't want to see Mims with 1 catch because then I need a legit 1. Sutton goes to 2, Mims goes to 3. That's what we have to do. And that's okay. That's okay. But that's what we have to start seeing. It can't just be, again, and I'm going to circle Vance Joseph again. I need a game plan, and I need the game plan now. You can have a game plan, Jen, and the person still beat you in a game plan, right? We're coaches. That happens.
Of course.
But I don't want to see Josh Allen running around. That's what I don't want to see. Because the number 1 thing they want to do is have Josh Allen running around. So you better have your best game plan to stop that from happening. If he's doing that, you're gone. You're gone. Because I need to know, what are we going to start doing next year? How are we going to combat that? If I can't stop it now, you're not going to just stop it next year. What are you going to say? You're going to sleep on it?
Let me throw up this comment because this is such a you comment from Peter here. He said he'd be more disappointed if Denver loses by 1 as opposed to 41. You say that all the time. You'd rather get killed than lose a close one.
You know what? I don't want the, oh my God, what could we have done? What shouldn't we have done? Like, listen to me. Let's be totally realistic. I've never been in a Super Bowl. I've never had heartache as a Broncos Super Bowl. Nothing. The closest game was the Giant one. What was that? 39-20. We were up at half. The Seattle game, that was over. Personally, what I don't want to lose a Super Bowl. I don't care about, oh my God, it was such a great game. No, just get it over with. Whatever. Turn the page, get it over with.
Wayne saying that the Broncos need to keep it close. If they can keep it to 1 score, they have a great chance to shock the NFL. Albert saying Bo and the Broncos can get it done. Pearl saying she agrees. Kenny saying that it's fine to want to add a lot of offense, but let's be honest, you need linebackers and you need secondary depth as well.
See, like, go to Peter's comment, Jen. The next comment. That's exactly my point. Allen won't go after Moss.
He'll go after McMillan.
So here, if that's the case, McMillan, thank you for a couple great years. We have to upgrade our nickel corner. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's what this is, the interviews now. Going forward for our Super Bowl championship, can you be our nickel defender? Because if teams are just going to go out and attack you and you're going to get destroyed in the game, I got to find somebody different. That's all I'm saying. So Kenny's saying I'm hard on VJ. No, I'm not.
Well, I wanted to get back to that before those VJ comments started rolling in. You did mention Vance Joseph, right? And we know he is being sought after for head coaching positions. So, and again, I'd love the audience to weigh in on this, especially Pearl, because we all know how she feels about Vance Joseph. So do you think kind of a two-parter. I kind of want you to answer this two ways. Do you think he'll be back next year? Right? Meaning, like, if he's not, it's because he's getting a head coach. And as a fan, not knowing what's happening on Sunday yet, just based on now, do you want him back?
Well, let me ask you this. When you go for a head coaching job, what do? You go for what?
An interview?
Well, he has 2 interviews coming up. He has who's he interviewing with on Sunday? Who's he defending?
Are you saying like he's showing his?
Yeah.
Like,
well, let me.
doing
Well,
a
let me.
live,
Who's he got?
It's like a demo lesson.
Right. Who's he defending on Sunday?
I love it.
No, I'm asking you. No, I'm asking you. Who's he defending?
What do you mean? Who's he defending?
Who's he going up to defend on Sunday?
Buffalo.
Okay. So, but who? Who's the quarterback?
Josh Allen.
Okay. And if they win, who's he has to go defend?
Patrick Mahomes.
There's your interview. Do it. You get a head job. If you give up 40, you're not getting a head job. Why would you? Here's your interview. You had Jen, and look at the defense you have. You have maybe one of the most talented defenses in football. Get it done. I hope he does. I hope he does.
Wade is saying, no, VJ is gone, and thank you, Jesus. And Michael's saying Vance Joseph is getting head coaching job talk, and the Broncos quarterback coach David Webb is also looking at head coach jobs. Peter's saying,
I'm going to ask you a question because
hold on. Let me just get Peter's coming in. So, because we're on the same topic here, that he's saying it's kind of a different vantage point. I like Vance Joseph. I hope he does come back. He's done a lot with very average talent. Such a great point. Let's add more talent to the D and build something up like Kansas City has with Spags.
I mean, he's got 2 defensive player of the year candidates. How much more talent can we give him? I mean, how many teams have that in the league? Right? I mean, you got Surtain and you got Benito. But let me ask you this, though, Jen, and I talked to you about this.
Okay? Oh, Roy's saying VJ will stay. Well, interesting. We're a little mixed here.
But I want to ask you, though, right? Because I've never understood this. I've never understood this. Again, this is where it matters, right? This is where the money is. This is where, if I want to call, I want to see what he does. I'm just throwing this out there. He gives up 38 points and Josh Allen runs all over him. You would consider him as your head coach? You know what? Hold him to 20. Hold Mahomes.
Who was it, Kurt? Who was it? Who was it? The Atlanta Falcons defensive coordinator who gave up the halftime lead to New England and then got a head coaching job?
Kyle Shanahan.
Oh, that was Kyle Shanahan.
He was the offensive coordinator.
Oh, well, I mean, you're a Shanahan fan. Why don't you hold the same? I mean, we've had that conversation. How did he?
You know who that's on? I'm going to say this again. You know who that's on? The head coach. Because that head coach, okay, because I'm going to tell you why. And I was an offensive coordinator.
I'm the head coach.
No. I was an offensive coordinator. All right. And sometimes your eyes I could do this and that. And that's where a head coach should say to you, you know what, Kurt, run the effing ball. You're going to run it 3 times.
You're relying on your head coach to do that, then you have no business being a head coach. You just proved yourself wrong.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So
Roy's saying he doesn't think VJ will make a lateral move, right? Let's see. And then Michael saying Penn State tight end Tyler Warren will change.
Beast. That kid's a beast. We'll watch him tomorrow night.
And Pearl Sage remembers Pat Bolin giving VJ lots of chances. Yeah. Oh, we got Zoli checking in.
What's up, Zoli? What's up, baby?
Can't wait for Sunday at 1. Been a while. Super pumped.
Jen, you know what, though? Hey, listen, I hope Vance Joseph comes out with the best game plan he's ever had because I'm rooting for him, man. Listen, we got to root for him, But you know what? Listen, I've always been this. I want to see, you want an interview? Here's my interview. That's it. Well, I don't even need to talk to you. This is look what I just did to Josh Allen. Look what I just did to Patrick Mahomes. Look what I just did to Lamar. Look what I did. That's your best interview. I mean, not for nothing. If I said to you, I'm going to do this and this and this and this,
You know what, Kurt? That
why wouldn't
sounds
you
good.
do it?
That sounds good in theory, but there's so much more to it. Let's say he doesn't get past Josh Allen, and even if it's Broncos defense plays well, you're taking a completely inexperienced Denver Broncos team into Buffalo. I mean, you can't
But again,
you can't judge Vance Joseph in that one game, and a good organization knows that. So listen, I'm not saying I want him as a head coach. I agree with Pearl. I think if he does, he's going to fail again. I think that his niche is a DC.
yeah,
And that's
and that's
okay.
fine. That's
Not
fine.
everybody's a head coach. That's
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Like, go with your
Exactly.
strength. That's
Yep.
okay.
I agree, Jen. I 100% agree. Just like the coach Salah from now they're saying the 49ers are looking to get him back. He's a fan. Kenny wants him as the Giants defensive coordinator. He's a fantastic defensive coordinator. Fantastic. Rex Ryan, fantastic. Just hey, know your role, do what you got to
Right,
do,
right.
and that's
Yep.
fine. And you know what? Listen, I'm pulling for him. Let's go. Hey, I am all up. I am all in with Vance this weekend. Heat him up. Heat this guy up. And let's go. Let's make him make mistakes. He's very prone to making mistakes. I know this year the numbers don't say it, but in big games, Josh Allen is always turning the ball over. Let's go get him. Let's go. Let's go after him. Let's go.
Carson checking in
What's
saying
up,
hello.
Carson?
Kenny saying Ben Johnson may be a great coordinator or head coach. We don't know.
Listen, that's the $100 million question, right, Jen? We talk about this all the time, But the thing is, here's the thing. Like, again, when you talk about head coach, right? So Ben Johnson, Jen, offensive coordinator from the Detroit Lions, best offense in the last 2 years, right? But like Kenny said, you really don't know about a head coach. So, but here's where I'm going to disagree with Kenny. Kenny was always, if you get a first time head coach, he shouldn't be calling the plays. Well, then why am I going to hire Ben Johnson? Right? Like I want my offense to look like Ben Johnson's offense.
Yeah, see,
Right or
that's
wrong.
right. I agree. I feel like that's and you've kind of a lot of coaches have now deviated from the like head coach and then being kind of like your leader of men solely and then having your OC and DC. And I feel like the head coach has either assumed the OC or the DC roles, right? Like Vic Fangio, DC, right? Sean Payton calling the plays. I don't know. I feel like I agree with you there. Like if you're hiring that offensive guy because of what he's done offensively, that you want him to bring that to the table,
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I don't think every coach can do both, especially a first-time head coach.
Right.
I feel like we watched Vic Fangio struggle with clock management.
Right.
Like right, maybe because he had too much. He was thinking.
But think about this though, Jen. And I'm going to be honest. Like I was an offensive coordinator for a lot of times. I'm going to be honest. Like how many times have I said to you, like you go into a game and all I worried about was their offense and their defense and what we're going to do on offense. There were comments on Sunday. What is that blitz? Like, you look like a guy like Rex Ryan and a guy like Vic Fangio. I mean, how many times do you think Vic Fangio was worried about what his team's offense does? Never.
Right.
And now you're telling him, should we go for it on fourth down? What's the percentage? 4th and 3. What that's like he's never done that, but the difference is like when Elway hired him, right? It was you want Vic Fangio to call your defense. So
Right, which is why I think we have to give VJ a little credit for the season. And two comments I want to give in here. He's saying you have to bring Allen down first contact or he'll shred you. And that's on the players, right? The players have to finish the plays, which is so true. You could have a game plan, but your players have to execute it.
Right. But what
right?
I'm saying is,
Hold
though,
on, let me just get in.
Jen,
Let me just get in Trevor's comment as well, because he is saying that, where Vance Joseph's defense ranks 7th in yards, 3rd in points, 7th in takeaways. He's saying he's done a fantastic job and that this team isn't making the playoffs without his defense. And that is key also.
Okay. It's fair. That's fair. But let's go back to Peter's comment, right? Here's the thing. You're absolutely right. I could say to you, I have me and you are going to be ready in the hole to tackle Derrick Henry. The problem is me and you aren't going to be able to tackle Derrick Henry, right? So I don't want it to be like, right, Josh Allen's going to do. So I want to make sure first and foremost that is stopped, and that's not going to, I don't want my linebackers who are slow to the ball having one-on-one tackling with Josh Allen. I want to make sure I have 2 and 3 guys to be there. You can't cover everything, right? So you know what? When Shakir's you know what? I got a man-to-man cover Shakir. And if Shakir beats me, Shakir beats me. Right? But I can't let them do what they want to do and not have an answer for that, right? I'll say it to you again, going back to coaching in high school. We ran at St. Mary's a play called the Gale Sweep, right? It was a power play done by, Coach Jones, who was there before me, rest in peace, one of the best high school coaches of all time, designed this play where it's basically like a power play, but it's a toss power play, and the quarterback actually lit up the hole, right? So we're playing a game one time, and basically the team is taking away everything away from us except sweep, which is stupid. Like, oh, they took away counter. The problem is we ran sweep 60 times and put up about 600 yards of offense. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't want, when it's if Josh Allen, it should never be Josh Allen with this linebacker. That's what it should, that's the game plan where you don't let that happen. Now, I'm not going to say if he beats 4 people, that's not Josh Allen, but it should never be Josh Allen with one of our middle linebackers with Shanad. That's what it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be that. You better have, secondary help, somebody else to make sure we're spying on him. On a 3rd and 8, it should never be we're dropping off or we're going after him and there's nobody containing Josh Allen. That's where I'm going to lose my effing mind because he's going to run for the first down. That's what I'm saying. Cover that, all those bases, that has to be stopped. Hey, if he throws the ball and it goes to their, like Kenny's saying, the second tight end, tip your cap. You're better than us. But if Josh Allen's running around, I'm going to lose my mind on Sunday. I'm going to lose my mind if we don't have if our game plan isn't to contain Josh Allen's scramble.
I want to get Albert's comment up here. He's saying, guess who isn't in the playoffs? Judy or Simmons, right?
Yeah, you see today, Jen, about Justin Simmons, they said there was a report or a little tweet saying, well, if Sean Payton wants him back, Justin Simmons isn't against him ending his career in Denver. So we'll see. We do need safety help.
What I think is so interesting about Jerry Jeudy is you could say he arguably had his best NFL season.
He's a Pro Bowl.
Stat-wise, right? Yeah.
Listen, Jerry Jeudy is listen, we don't have a receiver as talented as Jerry Jeudy.
Well, it's just so ironic. I feel like he comes up all the time. I feel like, even on this, the commenters, I feel like everybody was expecting more, rooting for him to do more. And I feel like the irony here is, I feel like Bo Nix has made these mediocre receivers better. I mean, that's another just characteristic of a good quarterback, right? Like a good point guard makes the players around him better. Jen,
Jen, we got a special player in him, man. We got a special player in him.
I just wonder what the Knicks Judy combo might have been.
Yep.
Yeah. Kenny saying he feels bad for Bo. Notice the spelling. That's our dog, right? Not Bo on Sunday.
Yeah, let me ask you this, because I asked Trevor. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't think Bo BEAU is going to be making it to the sports room Sunday. I think that might be a little much for him.
Then let me ask you this. I asked Trevor and Keith this. You watched the game with Denver and kind of Sean Payton, basically that's the Sean Payton I know what I saw on Sunday. Just aggressive, coming up, whatever. Is that the game plan on Sunday for you offensively? Just
aggressive?
Yeah.
You know what? I think you have to be. I think you have to go in there. You are considered the underdog. You are the young. You're the inexperienced. And I think that just fits this team's persona as well, And I think defensively as well. I feel like when you guys don't start off aggressively and you put yourself behind the 8 ball, and you can't do that in this situation. Playoff game on the road, you cannot do that.
Yep.
So
No, I'm with you.
I'm conservative too. So that's a lot for me to say that.
Yep. No, I just mean we got to have the game. Listen, and again, I was hearing like I don't know if it was Stokely or somebody saying, "Hey, it might be 4th and 2 on your own 35, but you know what? Go for it. You know what? Hey, put the ball in Bo Nick's hands. Let's go, kid. Go do it." Right? I mean,
let your best guy be the one who makes get the ball in his hands.
that's it.
Kurt, we only have like 2 minutes left. So I want to get your closing thoughts heading into the return to the playoffs this weekend for the Denver Broncos. Your closing thoughts.
I am so excited. I said this in the beginning of the show. Again, I was very spoiled when I started watching and liking the NFL. And again, all because of Elway. And it was AFC Championship, Super Bowl, divisional playoff games, another Super Bowl. So, like I've been, and when you grow up with it, just like we were Knick fans, Jen, when we were young and becoming Knick fans, it was every summer. It was just Knicks playoffs. Here we go. And that's what I grew up with the Broncos. So I am super pumped up. I am so excited for this. Listen, it's just you're gonna wake up, you're gonna have butterflies on Sunday, and let's go, man. Let's go.
All right, Michael saying Bills 31, Broncos 24. Roy saying 35-28 Bills. So thank you everybody for watching. We did take some predictions earlier in the show as well.
You forgot one prediction.
What's that?
You didn't get my prediction.
I thought you gave in the beginning.
I didn't give you my prediction.
Oh, all right. Then that's our ending here. Let's say it. Here you go. Kurt's final prediction.
My prediction is, you know what? We've already seen a franchise quarterback. We have that. I think last week you saw we have a star quarterback.
Oh my God, just give your score.
Jen, Sunday we're going to see that we have a superstar quarterback. I think Bo Nix leads a late drive. Denver wins the game 31-27. And I think we're going to go to Kansas City. I love this matchup, Jen. I think I'm not afraid of Buffalo's defense. As long as we don't turn the ball over and just give Buffalo easy points, Buffalo's going to score. But I think Denver's going to score. Give me Sean Payton and Bo Nix going into Buffalo. Give me a Bo Nix touchdown, maybe with his legs late to win it. Denver's going to win this game on Sunday.
All right, we got
Jay Cook, by the way. Happy birthday. Jay Cook, Jen's birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday, Jay. He's saying, let's go Broncos. Zoli likes your prediction. He's saying, attaboy, Kurt. Peter Johnson saying, nothing else needs to be said.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's end on that note. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Good luck to the Broncos this weekend, and we hope to see you next week with a look ahead